Who do we have here?
This here is a Japanese saw. You know, I've been seeing them, and I've been wanting one, and I want to order them online there, because they got the nice wooden handles and stuff, but all they got is this stupid Home Depot. Look at this thing. Is that hideous? It reminds me of work. It reminds me of the job site, you know? This reminds me of art, you know, and craft because of the... So I took a piece of white oak, you know, a friend gave me. He had made a table out of something, and took this piece of white oak. Is there a piece of that over there, Mikey?
Yep.
See behind there, there's the... There you go. There you go. Show them the little board. Here it is. Came from a piece of this.
All right, so say your name for people to be able to find you.
Yeah, my name is Ricky Syers. Ricky Syers. RICKYSYERS.
And you're soon to have a website, so that'll be added.
Yes, it'll be rickysyers.com. Right now, you can go to Ricky Syers Ricky on my Facebook page, okay? It's Ricky Syers Ricky, because I didn't know what a surname was, and, you know, when I filled it out and everything, and then I saw it was done, it said Ricky Syers Ricky. I'm like, what's that mean? And it was like, oh, the surname. I'm like, I didn't know. It said surname, what they called you in high school. I'm like, Ricky. So I didn't realize it meant maiden name. Another new word that they throw in there. You know what I mean? Like, that I don't know about surname.
All right, so you were never trained in either marionette, puppetry, or making the puppets. How did all that happen?
You know, it just kind of was a knack. And I didn't really do puppetry as a kid. I do remember being in 4th grade in Florida, Royal Palm Elementary School, 1974, and watching the Wizard of Oz in marionettes. And I sat way up close, and I looked at everything, and I just loved the whole little props and all that stuff. So, but my mom always said that, you know, she'd just say, "Where's Ricky?" You know, and there I was, 2 or 3 years old, upstairs, just playing on the floor by myself, you know. She said when I was 2, she was looking for me, and I was on the floor, and I had 2 pens and a rubber band, and she says, she opened the door, and there I was. I said, "Watch out, Mom, I got a cannon," you know. And so I would always take things and like repurpose stuff. You know, when I needed a piece of sandpaper, I'd go out to the sidewalk, and I would scratch it on the sidewalk. You know, if I needed it rougher, I'd go to the driveway because it was a heavier grit, you know. The foundation of the house was a little smoother, you know, and my dad's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm trying to make this thing smoother." And he goes, "You need some sandpaper, you know?" I'm like, "What's sandpaper?" He took me to the little spot there in his garage, and he showed me sandpaper, showed me where it was, and I was able to use sandpaper. My dad was like a painter, truck driver. He's coming to visit soon.
The puppet who plays the drums, Chops. Could you talk about how originally he wasn't supposed to actually play the drums, and how that developed into the puppet really does play the drums?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I am a musician, and I went to New York City playing the drums as a street performer, not performing puppetry, you know. My goal was to go there and play some wash tub drums. I made, really nice set of washed up drums with the bass drum, everything all, you know. But I had a puppet on my shoulder, and then in 3 days I discovered that people wanted to see the puppets, you know. But Chops, with Chops was, I did a music video for C6 Steve and their video Roy's Gang, and they needed me to make the artist, and they didn't want to pay for me to make the drummer, but they said Styx looks like the drummer, so they said, can you just use Styx? So, you know, I'm thinking, all right, but in my own mind, I'm like, I'm gonna make something, you know, because you can't just put Styx behind soup cans. So I made Chops with a head that was supposed to be me. That's why they say it looks like me. So, but I put the bandana on him and stuff, and longer straight hair. So, but people still like, hey, it looks like you. When I hand hammered the cymbals, I hand hammered them out of these beginner cymbals. I might have one laying around here. Oh, see people give me, and these are the kind that you can just beat up. So I take this, I cut them with some heavy duty scissors, and I stick them on this little 10-pound workout weight little plate. Here it is. You know, stick it in there, and that's how I get the cup, you know. And I usually have one of these big bearings, like this. It's like a slider. That when I used to work delivering furniture, this came off of the bottom of a Macy's like coat rack, and I still got tons of them, you know. And anyway, hammer that, boom, 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 and helps me get the shape. And the cymbals end up sounding good, you know. And he was only made to look like he was playing the drums and the soup cans, but it ended up actually sounding good. And then I discovered that, wow, man, you know, like I actually have a real, like not only a little puppet that plays the drums, but it's a little instrument, you know. So now I could, like, you know, if I'm in Washington Square Park, I could sit in with some of the acoustic guys and play like full kit without overbearing, overpowering anybody. It's pretty cool, man, you know.
I mean, her boyfriend.
Can I cut to the drum set that's in development?
Yeah.
Okay.
The new kid.
Story about that?
Yeah, that's it's an upgrade I just did for Chops. Oh, here's the new Chops too, and he's not even done. Look at Chops, see, man, like, look at somebody inside. Yeah, man, that's right, man. You know, woo! He's got glasses, you know.
He's a little younger.
He's a little more fresh, you know. Look at with the same traditional grip, man. So, and here's his upgrade kit. It's like a Ludwig Vista light, you know. So it actually made these shells out of just acrylic, and I used real, you know, Ludwig cherry lugs on there, you know.
Can you tap on one and get some sound?
Yeah, here. Let me put that back there. All right, let's see here. Yeah.
Excellent.
I use the hi-hat as just another pedal, a double bass pedal.
He can join all three of them. Ricky Syers, puppeteer drummer. Taking over fucking everywhere. Oh, yeah.
Is there a special history to Styx?
Not really, man. Styx was just kind of, you know, an experiment, and you know, I was going to be making like a band in a box. I wanted to make something that was kind of automated. So this way here, say I had Dancing Francine, and this other marionette named Dancing Francine. Figured if I made her and I could manipulate her with 2 hands, and I made something that I can step on that would automate like 4 little dudes in a box playing instruments like the fucking drums or the, you know, tuba, piano or something. So I started by making, you know, first head I tried making, I grabbed the face and I put the hair on top, and I go, oh man, you know, I just go white hair. I don't know, it just looked like, then I put it on his face and it was like, oh, this like a total hillbilly, man, you know. I was like, so I had just learned that method of making them drink, you know, or bringing something to the mouth, like a trumpet or something. In this case, I made it liquor, you know, and I had a puppet named Elwood that I had doing that. But I now make Styx, my moonshiner, and now I made a moonshine jug, and, you know, and now Styx, you know, I didn't realize he was going to become, you know, the hit he was. You know, he's not politically correct. He smokes, he drinks, he falls on his face, he lies about doing it. You know, when I say, you know, are you drunk? And he's like, no. Break it down, Styx. Styx, show him how you dance, man. No, Styx, smooth it out for him. That's it, buddy. Styx, man, you did pretty good when you're... Oh. What happened, Styx? You didn't have too much, did you? You had a breath? Styx, look, man, Pavarotti's taking your picture. Oh, don't be shy, man, come on. You get up, man. You know, and he takes off. People are just like, you know, they feel something for him. He's sitting on his bench all quiet by himself, disconnected, and in the park there's music playing and people laughing, and he's kind of sitting there, you know, and people stop and they look and they just feel something for him. So he pulls off the whole day, where somebody that's like a puppet that's like dancing or juggling, that's cool for a minute, you know, like, oh wow, look at that, but you feel for Styx, you know. Shame, right?
Yeah.
You know? Come on, Styx, get up, man. Man, show him how badass, man.
I don't compromise.
Bring it down.
I go to sleep with my other stuff. I'll listen to Lance Morissette.
The dog is like real life scale, so when you see Styx, you know, okay, puppet. But when you see the dog, and I'm like walking around, and at first you're just like, oh wow. And then it's like, oh, so he's scaled for real life. Come on, boy. Like,
That's amazing.
And it's like you gotta have the tail moving for it to.
Yeah, in order to, otherwise, you know, he just seems to lose, you know, but. You know, keep his tail moving. Say, look at you and shit, you know.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
You know? But he's all, he's made of like Fimo I use for his head and tin foil, you know. I know it. So he kind of has a whole different angle to him, you know.
We're going to see examples of your mastery in a bit, but I also wanted to thank you for allowing the use of the puppets in a future movie. I think it's going to be exploitation. So
Thank you.
So I want to give you all that I can in return.
Thank you so much. You see, he's fucking made like tons of different shit. You know, look, I studied a little bit of the canine skeletal anatomy to know how they move. You know, before how to use marbles for his eyes, sculpted his, you know, his nose, his teeth are even all sculpted. And the tongue is the recessed rubber that was in the brush I was using when I was like making the head, and I fucking took the rubber out of the, right?
You said that took 6 weeks?
Yeah, it was about 6 weeks, you know. That's not counting like the few weeks of kind of just studying how they move. I got cats. You know, I don't own a fucking dog. It's the only dog I own. But I made him because I have a cat that died. I made him because I have a cat that died. I just wanted to hear the cat's name again, you know? So Rusty, I call him shit. He's supposed to have some red fur, you know? But look at how he just like looks like he's, you know?
And could you describe your lifestyle, how you chose art over wealth?
You know, it's funny because even when I was in school, I lived in 21 houses and went to 9 different schools. So changing a school every year sucked, man. And you know, it's funny because one of the only years I stayed in the same school was the year I went to 6th grade, and I stayed back that year. So I got to do 2 years of 6th grade in the same school. It would have been so nice to go off to another school. But I hated school. I hated the smell of September. And I hated work. My mom says, "Oh, everybody hates work, Rick." I said, "But Mom, I think I hate it more than most people." And you know, they was in a child study team, you know, they were like, oh, checking me out, asking, show me pictures of someone like this, and saying like, what is he thinking? You know, they wanted to know what was going on upstairs. They used to say, oh, he's very intelligent, but he just needs to put his mind to what it is he, you know, needs to do. So I failed art, you know, I got thrown out of wood shop. You know, what was another one that I did that it was, that I do? Oh, band, I got kicked out of band 3 times. Got from snare, demoted to tenor, and then to bass drum, and then cymbals, and then out, you know? But those are all the things I do now. So, all my life I realized that, I mean, I thought I was a laborer trying to be an artist, but I realized in 2008 that I was an artist trying to be a laborer. And in all these years, when I'm doing something clever at work and I'm tying up all these iron workers and shit, doing something cool, and you know, it's like, you know, like, what are you doing here, man? You know, and I never had an answer for them, you know. But you know, now I realize, you know, I wasn't really meant to be there, and I was given it every fucking bit that I could to you know, make that and manage that. But I didn't realize that I wasn't a laborer trying to be an artist. I didn't realize I was an artist trying to be a laborer. And then I realized then that I could take less effort and be where I love to be and still be broke, or have the potential to go up because there's, you know, no limit there. But if it was take the other way, it was going to take more effort to put in more hours and bow to that fucking machine that pays nothing, and you're just a number, and it doesn't matter. If you do good tomorrow, you better be able to do better the next. I don't know. I realize that I am made to do what I love to do, and then turns out that's what people want me to do, you know? So when I went to the park to play the drums, I had sticks on my shoulder, the little marionette, and all day people kept saying, drums are cool, but can I see that puppet? In 3 days I discovered I could leave the drums home and then make money in my hat each day. But I had no idea it would lead to friends in New York, a whole entire culture of friends that are, you know, from every part of the world, and that I've been to like 10 different countries in the past 4 years, and I've never left the United States before that. So how could I not choose like that life? Oh my God. It chose me. People say, you know, you found your niche. And I'm like, I didn't find my niche. It found me. I was playing the drums and they kept saying, can I see the puppet? And I just know marionette's as a dying art. It's not dead. It's just not fed to society anymore because it's all about internet and communicating and all the devices. This little natural thing just needs to be reintroduced to the world. And with these little devices, which in my world are very useful because we live life without them. And breaking down on the road, it's nice to be able to call somebody, you know. But, you know, they should just be there for what we need, you know, for when we need them. The simple things I realize people still love, man. And they can't say they have something better to do because it's usually on the train and they're just like this on their phone. And I just happen to have them there. I don't try to perform with them, but people say, hey, what is that? They inquire. Before you know it, we're engaged, talking to each other, and it brings the inner 8-year-old at the surface wherever I go, man, you know? How could I not? So, do not disturb this, please. Just let me do what I do, and it makes people happy, and that makes me happy. Do not fucking disturb.